Since I bought this book, I thought maybe I should go over it and give you suggestions as to how to use it. Now, this is Cartooning Animation 1, Learn Animation Step by Step by Preston Blair, one of the grand old animators from the golden age of animation. And like I said, they've changed it. So let's go through it and give you some advice as to how you should use it, okay? So we open it up, and this side is other books that Walter Foster publishes, which I understand they were taken over by some other company now. And then a table of contents, which we didn't have that before. Tools and materials. That's new. Didn't have that before. And then he gets into construction of the head. Now, we had that, but it was slightly different layout. So let's get into how to use this. So opening it up, it's at page 4, and it's got stuff that we saw in the other editions. Start with a circle, turn it into a sphere by bisecting it, and then putting a face on it. Start with an egg shape, bisect it, put a face on it, tilting the egg, because now it's a solid egg instead of just an ellipse. Those shapes are what these heads are based on. So get in the practice of drawing this right here first. Then you can move on to page 5. So let's see if we can do a little demo with that and show you what you should be doing. So this is some paper that I got at Goodwill years and years ago. And somebody was selling, they were selling it for like $5 for this inch-high stack, and it's square. And a lot of it was smooth, and some of it, I think they also had some in the stack that was texture of some kind. So let's do some drawing. Let's start with a circle. You can draw a circle, right? I can draw a circle. And then bisect it. He's got it tilted up. Draw a dotted line behind. And then bisect it again on latitude part. And then start building your face on that. So your eyes can go right here. And then the other eye. Like that. And then add the muzzle. Comes down here, up and around like this. And then you can add the eyeballs in there like that. Eyebrows up here. Bisect the muzzle like this, and that'll show you where the nose goes. Kind of like that. And then the mouth can go back here. Well, we're making a bear, right? There's going to be a color separation at the top here. It's going to come down like that, and then go back here and here. This line's going to continue back like this. We're going to have to make the circle a little bit bigger to accommodate that part there. And then he's got an ear coming like that, and then the other ear up. kind of like that. And then you can shade it in. All right. Now the next exercise is with the egg-shaped guy. And just copy what he's got. You start with an egg shape, which means it's a little bit wider towards the bottom. Put a line there, another line here, and then put eyes like this. And he's got cheeks that go across. And then out of the nose, he puts these lines, which I call laugh lines just because they usually show up when you're smiling and laughing. But you can call them whatever you want. As Emerald would say, who are you going to hurt? Then put a lower lip line under like this. And then you can kind of darken it in like that. And there's your first exercise on page 4 of the new edition of Preston Blair's book. Then you can tilt this egg by just doing like this and like that. And then you add eyes to it in perspective. So I would suggest if you want to make this easy, you can go to the store and find a plastic egg of some kind and draw these lines on it, these guidelines on the egg. And hold it in your hand and tilt it any way you want, and it'll be a lot easier for you to figure out how to tilt the features on the face. I guess the prime time to get eggs would have been Easter time, and we've passed that, but there may be some egg toy things at the store that you can find. So try this for your first exercise doing the new Preston Blair book. And if you feel confident enough after doing this practice, try copying some of these shapes here for these animals. Let's do that one there. I'm going to tilt his ears back more so I don't bump into the Eggman there. And if you want, you can add little tufts of hair on top. So get to drawing, get to practicing. If you can get this new edition, if you get the old edition, you can do more practice there too. So just keep drawing, keep copying, because that's how you learn stuff. Copy from the best. Copy from Preston Blair. So in the meantime, keep learning, keep drawing.